Hi, I'm Marina Sirtis, and you're going boldly with Beyond Trek podcast.
This is Beyond Trek Podcast, your source for Star Trek on social media and around the web. I'm Big J.
I'm Watney.
And I'm Dag, the Trivia Master. You can find us on Facebook at Beyond Trek Podcast and on Twitter at Beyond Trek Pod.
Red alert.
Jay.
Yeah.
Jay is the Cisco. Watney kind of is giving me Soji Sutra vibes. Sutra was the gold
Sutra
body.
is Sutra's evil, sexy Soji.
Yes, Sutra's evil. She was version 2, and Soji and Daj were version 3.
She's the doppelganger that they're gonna have to kill each other. They're totally gonna kill each other. I'm calling it now.
The shiniest one of all of them, and we all knew she was bad news the minute she walked on screen.
Right. Well, okay. So how is it that what was the name of the sister that went on the diplomatic mission? Jana. Okay, so she was the twin. How is it that you see this obviously Data-looking person step onto your ship, and you're not at all suspicious of that? Or, I mean, what did she have on a disguise or something else? You know what I mean?
You're wondering why Rios didn't see a gold-eyed girl.
That's right. Because if we're to, well, and I'm getting ahead of myself, so we'll revisit that when we get to it. Just make a note that I've got something that I think might be just a little plot hole-ish. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Well, okay, you guys must think I'm crazy now. So, episode 9.
Not any more than I already do.
Oh,
Everybody, welcome to our Star Trek Picard review of episode 9, Et in Arcadia Ego, part 1.
Part 1. We're in a two-parter for the finale.
yes,
Next episode's the last one. Is that right?
yes,
Yep.
yes. I wish it
Yeah, it's
wasn't,
last
but
one
it
of the
is.
season.
Dag, you've got
It will be amazing.
It will be. Dag, you got a special message for us before we get going? Where's the sound the alert?
If you are watching or listening to us, we are going to spoil the hell out of this. So either press pause, watch the episode, and then come back, or, you're your own people. Do what you want to do.
We're not cops.
Well, we could
Get spoiled. I don't care.
This is
Right.
Beyond
Get
Trek
spoiled.
Podcast, featuring all the 3 people that you love and know, and guest host Lotte.
Hi. That is a sharp outfit. I like your uniform. The Picard
you guys are all
red.
looking sharp.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
This house
looking
has,
good,
like,
looking good.
5 uniforms now. Jeez.
4 of them are yours.
So you've got just a collection of uniforms. So where do we want to start? Who wants to start
Well,
us
first
off?
I want to know what everyone's drinking. I've got my quarantini.
Your quarantini.
Quarantine. That's a
I'm my
good one.
quarantini.
For
have-
future
Quarantine for
listeners,
me.
we are in the middle of shelter in places due
Yes.
to COVID-19. And
Not-
we're making the best of it because all of our friends are online anyway.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I gotta say my online life is totally thriving, and my real friends, not my real, but my real life friends are like
Did you
they
hear
don't
that,
care
Dag?
that I'm not. I'm sorry. I
We're
didn't
not-
know you guys
We're
are
not
my
your real
best
friends. Oh, Jesus.
No, we are not.
You're my best friends.
We're
We
at
are
Meat's
figments
Face.
of her imagination.
I've already said that. You're my best friends. My real life friends don't give a shit because they're
Wow.
all quarantined too. So it's not like they can make me feel bad for not answering their texts because we're all just doing our own thing. So yeah, online life thriving, quarantini. But yeah, we're in the middle of the COVID-19.
Hey guys,
pandemic.
we're in the
Hopefully the
history
middle.
books now.
What's that?
Yeah. We're in the history books.
Yes, we are. I've got my
Jay,
prune
what are you
juice.
drinking?
It's my prune juice in my Chewbacca mug that says "I choose you." This was a
Nice.
Valentine's gift from Mrs. Big J. So,
Mrs. Big J.
honey, if you're
Cute.
listening, thank you again. Yeah, it's a good mug.
It's very cute.
Well, I mean, really, I keep trying to get her to listen, but she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So that doesn't matter. I'm on it. You can hear my voice. Isn't that good enough? So,
What are you drinking?
I have a nice double IPA here.
Ooh, excellent.
Palette wrecker.
And I have a white Sutra.
Oh.
That's weird.
No, it's tasty.
Sounds
Okay,
very
yeah.
tasty.
Shall we get into this?
Yes, let's dig in.
Sure. Yeah, we can.
It
Nice
opens
slideshow.
with turbulence. We are on La Serena, and she's going through that transwarp conduit, and things are
Badass
shaky.
looking, by the way. The conduit was just fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I also got to say, the week before, like last week on Star Trek Picard, the way that they laid it all out was very good. Like they hit all the best parts of all the episodes so far. We got to see Seven. I was like, Seven's totally gonna be in this one because they're showing her. So I was excited just leading up to it. But yeah, we get into the last Saturday night. We're going through the transwarp conduit, and Girardi's freaking out. Surprise, surprise. She's like huddled under like a cabinet or something, like freaking out.
Freaking out is just in character for her. Unfortunately, that's just her role.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Soji's like,
I know Soji's like,
she's like got both of her hands up, and Girardi's like clinging on to her, like, no,
Yeah.
let it be over.
Watney, you make
Two
some of the
different
best
people.
faces, I swear.
I know.
Well, and even
I know.
Rios is like, yeah.
He
fucking loves it. I love Rios. He's really growing on me. I think he's just like so solid. He
I
like
do
knows
love
himself,
Rios.
you know.
Yes.
yeah,
I
they
think
definitely made a weird impression of him in the beginning, but now I'm like, okay, you're an actual person because at the beginning you were trying really hard.
Yeah.
He got some therapy last episode.
He did. Well, he's like the swashbuckler, you know. So, and what's the deal with these giant flowers in space?
Oh, the orchids?
It's the immune system of the planet. They built one.
Do you have a slide
They're
of
like
that?
giant white blood cells, and they just go.
Oh, I have a slide of that. I just wanted to point out that they're fighting somebody in the middle of all this.
Yep.
The orchids.
Eric pops out of that transwarp conduit, and he starts fighting with La Serena. And I just want to point out this really cool move.
He goes upside downy down.
Rios Mavericks him. He like hits those air brakes and lets the bad guy fly right by, and then starts engaging again. So Top Gun reference.
He did, and then Narek copied him. Kind of.
Oh, because yeah.
I know they're like,
Pretty much.
oh, his pulse is almost undetectable, and she's like, it's a trap. Fuck him. We're going on, and Picard's like, I have Mars. We have to beam him directly to sickbay. And then all of us, and then Picard's like, just because we can't just let someone die watching them wounded.
The hell we can't.
I'm sorry. I need a soundbite for. We have Mars.
We have
I need that.
Mars.
I need that.
Mars. Mars. The mushrooms. Mars.
We'll grab that in post.
Yeah.
But that Borg cube comes out of that conduit
Wah,
too, and
like
it
the sound
is
effect when it comes
intimidating.
out. It's like bigger than the fucking conduit.
Yeah.
Like, how did
It's
you
like
get this
bigger.
How did that fit?
It's
Right?
a square peg
There's-
in a round hole, literally.
You know what? 7 of 9 is piloting that thing. She can do anything she wants.
Oh yeah.
I'm all about it.
Well, yeah. I
So-
mean, she's an ace pilot.
Did she connect herself again? You think to do that? I'm sad that they didn't actually see. We didn't get to see the Borg cube like fight anyone, but then they would just completely destroyed Narek.
It hasn't happened
So-
yet.
But the Borg now the cube is on. They just took it and dumped it on the planet. It's like
Right.
what you're not. You can't.
I think
show
we're
a
going to
Borg
see some cool
cube.
fireworks next episode.
Well, yeah, it's going to be the big showdown. And now, look, this is what I noticed when I was watching the episode. But see that right there in the slide, that hole there, is that the spot
the
where the sphere is usually housed?
Yep.
So yeah, you got this big ass cube coming out of that conduit, and these flowers try to slow it down as it crashing towards the planet. I'm like, whoa, big boy.
That's what beautiful flower
So
probably came from. Right?
beautiful
The name.
flower was just feed me Seymour.
Oh,
Right, so a bunch of Seymours come up from the planet.
So we get
It looks
these-
so weird.
These orchid veiny satellite things,
Mhm.
They're pretty. They're pretty.
and we get there. They start going after La Serena, and you can see here. Where's my
And
laser pointer?
For our listeners on like Anchor.fm or Spotify, wherever you can listen to us online, we have a YouTube channel, and on this channel you can watch us have our discussions. And while we are having these discussions, we're playing basically screen grabs of cool images and scenes from the episode alongside of us. So check our YouTube out.
Thank you.
Yes,
Of
please
course,
do.
always,
So you
always.
can
And
see
Dag put a
these
lot of time
orchids.
into these screen captures.
Mm-hmm.
The orchids are eating La Serena. They're coming after that Borg cube.
Mhm.
And in the distance, this pixel right here, that's Narek's, what do they call it, a snakehead?
I like how we just
A
butchered his name
snakehead.
for fun.
Narek.
Narek.
It's better
Oh.
than Ryan.
Oh,
Ryan.
jeez. Don't get us started
Yeah.
on that again.
Let's just face it, he's a wreck, and that's the end of it.
Ooh.
He's
So
all right.
I'm
Nice, I
confused
like it.
about the purpose of these flowers.
Okay.
You know, you can enclose La Serena just
Yep.
fine, but then they try and fuck with the cube, and they're just like hanging on the sides of it. Like they're not actually able to do anything.
Well, they're power draining
Oh.
How do
that's a good
you know
point.
that?
because they drained the power from La Serena.
They had no power.
Right. They
She went
Couldn't
black.
start her up.
I've got a really cool slide coming up.
Well, the way that I took it was not so much that they were trying to harm either ship. It was just that they were heading towards the planet, and it was kind of like, this is how you're going to land, because otherwise it's basically it was a controlled crash. At least that
I thought
was.
they were protecting Soji at first.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
just
what I
figured it was
thought.
spaced. It was like atmospheric dispense.
Airbags. Deploy the space
Airbags.
airbags.
It just-
Like ships
well,
already don't have those. They're called brakes.
Yeah, where are the brakes on a Borg cube?
it
On the
just-
planet.
On the left. On the planet is the brake.
Whatever stops it from moving.
The planet
Sevens.
is the brake pad.
Seven's pumping the brake pad like, it's not working. It's not working. We're going down. So
Basically, think about how huge that cube is, because Rafi made a point. She was like, something that size going that fast, I don't know. I mean, I just think about like when something that big reminds me almost like of 9/11 with
Mhm.
like the two towers, thinking about the mass of those buildings and the speed and velocity and just monumental like momentum of that. Like that's honestly what came to my mind, was like, and the Borg is bigger than that, of course. So how is it even still standing? How is it still, I guess it's plot armor, but
I think it's
Robbie makes all these points and they're like, yeah, it's fine.
I think it's plot armor mixed with
Real
I'm
armor?
sure it's got it was a controlled landing. I mean, a controlled crash landing. It's not that there wasn't any damage, but I don't think it hit with much speed. Those the flower brakes seem to have slowed it down enough and absorbed enough of the impact. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but as La Serena was going down, did it seem like part of the flower? I know a lot of it like burned up on reentry, but did it seem like part of it like ballooned out like a parachute almost? They weren't plummeting as fast as they could have
Yes, you're
been for something as dense as a planet sucking you down in gravity. It's almost like the flower acted as a parachute in a way
Yes.
to keep you from being completely flattened to smithereens upon impact.
That was
Hey,
how
Flower,
I took
Go get
Yeah.
those things in orbit and bring them back.
it.
They're very they're just single use, apparently.
Yeah.
It's really interesting that they could leave orbit without burning up, but then they fall back into orbit.
Yeah, how
and
do they
burn
get
up.
out? How do they get
Well,
out?
if they can like float in space, maybe they can like float against the gravity. That doesn't. I don't know. It's like they would
Ion.
have like just
They have to have
floated
some
up out
kind
of
of
the atmosphere
propulsion. Yeah.
and
I-
then
Mhm.
rode the ships back down. I don't know.
I kind of took it as like anything else. If you don't have the right reentry angle, if you don't hit it the right way, that's going to happen. And it seemed like under the conditions, none of them were really able to control or have the reentry they wanted, especially not the cube. I mean, that thing's not made for any kind of planet landing, so it's best effort on that.
To be fair, it is a dice, and it only lands on one side.
Right. It's going in one way, it's landing one way.
We see here the cube entering the atmosphere. And I didn't get the screenshot of what happened afterwards, because it enters the atmosphere and then this, the pressure builds under it until it explodes up and around it, and you see this exhaust fan around it from the heat of burning up those components on reentry.
It's nice.
Intense.
It's really nice looking, and so yeah, I would not have wanted to be on that, either one of them. And Picard, look at this. He looks the way I do when the roller coaster is finally over. Because I got to tell you a story real quick. Last summer, I went to Kings Island with the kids, and decided to ride a couple roller coasters with them. And I don't know what happened since the days when I was younger, but I thought I was going to die on this thing. And we rode the Beast. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that one, but it is ridiculous. And I think it was the world's first all wood roller coaster. So yeah, and I'm just holding on for dear life. It's like, this thing's going too fast. Yeah. I thought I was going to clip my head off on some of those turns. I was thinking, okay, I'm too old. I'm too old for this shit. So when it was done, when it was pulling in, I looked exactly how Picard looks right now with my kids, and look at the inset there. Those are my kids looking at me like, Dad, do you want to go again?
Well, here we see Picard slowly going unconscious due to the effects of the disease that he was diagnosed with before he left Earth.
Are they ever going to just come out and say what he's got instead of hinting?
No.
Okay.
You don't get to know.
It doesn't need to be a thing.
It doesn't, but my money's on the neuromatic syndrome, which was what he had in the future scenes of All Good Things, the TNG series finale.
You mean the series finale where an older Picard who's kind of going crazy gets a bunch of people together who don't really know what they're doing to fight off the end of the universe?
Oh, I like it. That was a sharp reference.
Rodeo.
Right.
So Picard wakes up and Jurati's there, and she's got a tricorder, and she tells him that she knows what's going on in his brain. Not like it was a really big secret. We all already knew, but he hadn't told everybody else yet.
He can't metagame. She can't metagame.
So he sits down, and he's like, here's the deal. Don't make a big deal out of it, or you piss me off.
I like that. And that is what I really like about the show, about Picard, is that's the kind of thing that a real person would say. It didn't sound fake, didn't sound forced. It was perfectly within the moment. It's not formal. That's what I had been looking for the last couple of recordings that we've done, when I was just talking about how people interact with each other, is that it's not always so formal. TNG and all the other shows, sure, there was some informality, but it almost seems stiff now compared to Picard, because people really are acting and talking more like you would think actual people would.
Yeah, just like in the Penth. I think we talked about that a little bit in that episode, was that it's almost the inverse of TNG, because in TNG you have like their rank and file. Mm-hmm. Everything is, yes, sir, engage. Take us out, Mr. Worf. Like, it's all like professional. And then you see everything peek through, like the humanity and personal moments peek through. Mm-hmm. And there was humor, of course, but it's all umbrellaed by the professionalism. And now in Picard, you get he's being called like, you know, JL. Everyone's kind of just doing their own thing. They're just surviving in the galaxy, and it's kind of like he has a ragtag group of people now. It's not, there is no rank and file. I mean, even Rios like defers to Picard for stuff. So
He's Starfleet through and through.
Yes,
Yeah.
he recognizes the better experience in a combat situation. I mean, he's a great pilot, but I mean, Picard is pretty legendary, and he knows his stuff. So yeah, Picard warns them not to piss him off, and they are making their plans for planetfall.
I really like this sequence here with between Raffi and Soji, and she hands Soji a wetchin. A wetchin? Weapon.
What's a wetchin? The wetchin's new.
A wetchin.
The wetchins are in next episode. Spoiler.
The
my bad.
wetchins, okay. Yeah.
No, but like
Wetchin.
she gives
It's
Soji
like
a gun,
How do you
and
say
this is
phaser?
a total opposite of what happened in the last episode when Soji was going to shoot her. So it just shows
Yeah,
some
people just
growth
flippy
there.
floppy so much.
I think it also truly demonstrates Raffi's. I'm not sure it's a need per se. It might be that she's developed this since her own family has just kind of been like, "We're done with you. We're not dealing with this anymore." And she feels alone, so she's reaching out to whoever's immediately around her.
Oh
Sure,
yeah.
we found out that Girardi technically betrayed them, sort of. Technically, and her first idea is like, you're clearly in distress, let's go have some cake.
Cake makes everything better. You
Right?
can't deny that. Can't
And
argue with that
she
one.
immediately wants to bond with Soji because oh, last child, I will pack bond with you because that's what we do as humans.
Yeah. Let me hug you, Picard, and tell you I love you.
Right.
Stuff like that.
we'll get there.
We'll get there. But I just think this really demonstrates how much Raffi needs connection right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's using a service to other people as to try to build them up as a way of giving that connection or getting that connection for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Yeah.
she's reaching out to Soji and only that smile she does right when Soji accepts it, and she's like, you kind of almost see her light up for a split second at that last flash of the scene there.
Mm-hmm. I'm liking Raffi more and more. I think she's like, in case we run into your ex-boyfriend, she's like, yeah, you're right. We
Well,
take that.
she's stepping up more. I don't why.
Homicidal fungus.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You mean Raffi's stepping up more?
It seems like it. Yes, it seems
Oh,
like
I think she's kind of like
she's got her second wind.
Well, after like the revelations of the Rioses with
Mhm.
her, and she kind of got some confidence there, and she's scared, but I think she's super capable. I mean, she basically like drunkenly negotiated her way onto a Borg cube.
Right.
So she's always been capable, but now she's focused, I think.
She's
like,
been
That's the difference.
validated.
She
The
has been.
conspiracy she had is true. She's not
Mhm.
crazy.
yeah, she's not. I think
Dag
she
hit
knew
it.
she wasn't, but like the world was against her. The universe
Right.
was against her.
And Picard has validated her, and I think that plays into a lot in that scene later where she tells Picard, for everything you've done for me, thank you. Because she's validated her. He has proven to her that this crazy shenanigans was true.
She
That's
also
gotta be
turned
a
around
good-
and validated Soji by saying, "Oh, well, you're crazy Romulan X." She could have said something different along the lines of putting Soji in a category of non-sentient life that wouldn't be capable of having a relationship, much less an X.
Uh-huh.
But she
Mhm.
chose, despite having her entire conspiracy validated, to validate Soji in return.
Exactly. The humanity. She validated her humanity. Or her
Sentience?
inclusion. Her
Am I a
sentience,
person?
her sapience. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she also like said like, oh, you're crazy X, right? Like it's not it's like, of course it's a big deal to Soji what happened, the betrayal, but now it's being framed as like something anyone could go through.
Mhm.
And it's not necessarily like the worst thing that's ever happened to her, you know? I mean, I'm sure it hurts, but she seemed later on in the episode, which we'll get to, she seemed a lot more like, fuck you to him after.
So good.
I just wanted to tell her, don't feel bad. You know, your dad got dumped by a girl too. He tried a relationship and it didn't work out. So,
which one's dad?
Well, actually, you know, yeah, you're right. It's not Data anymore.
You're talking about Data and Tasha,
right? Or no, Data and what's her name? Oh, geez,
Jenna DeSora.
It was at the Torpedo Tech girl, the on the budget Linda Hamilton. Remember that actress?
Whoa, because I think the same thing. Yeah, that actress was actually
when you want Linda Hamilton, but you don't have Linda Hamilton money.
She was in Alien Nation.
Alien Nation, yep.
That was Jenna DeSora in, I think, the 4th season episode, In Theory, of TNG.
I believe you're right.
We got Data, Maddox, and Soong, so I'm like, who's dad?
Right, and that's a good question. So who is dad?
And you ever remember that show from the 80s, My Three Dads?
My Three Dads. Oh, wow.
3 men and a little soji.
Somehow I felt Data, you were going there.
Soong, and Maddox, and they all played a part.
Yes, 3 men and a baby.
Dr. Phlox would be proud. So they get off La Serena, and they have a little powwow, and they realize they want to go check out the Borg cube first to see if Elnor or Hugh are still alive, because Picard doesn't know about Hugh. So they get there, and this Borg dude's like, Locutus. And then Elnor shows up, and there's hugs.
It's like Locutus. Everybody in the room goes, you did
7? Yeah. She looks so good.
I love Seven's triumphant pose here. She's just like kicking Romulans off her cubes.
She's like, fucking about time, motherfuckers. No.
Right. This is the best picture of 7 of 9.
It is good. She looks good. She looks happy. I think something Picard said upon his reunion with Elnor about Hugh was like, he said something like, it must have taken something incredible to persuade such a gentle person into an act of violence. And I'm like, where was Hugh violent?
Right.
At all. First of all, like,
yeah,
that doesn't make sense to me, because it's just Picard musings, I guess, but the writers like didn't correct it with another character who was there. Like Elnor was the most violent, really.
It's one of the things where the line was written from the perspective of someone who's writing everything else and knew what happened, but forgot that the character was not present for those situations.
Maybe the violence is because Hugh said he was going to take back the cube and get the XBs out of there, and that was violent.
Right. Okay.
I feel like Picard would have a different opinion on that, considering violence and some of the stuff he's done, from TNG and a couple of movies. I guess I feel like.
Oh, you mean the time that he broke the Borg Queen's spine?
No, well, yeah, but taking back the entire cube and the XBs doesn't really feel like it would fall into the category of violent for Picard.
Yeah, it just seemed very odd. I was like, wait a second, Hugh was violent? And then I thought about it, I was like, no, he really wasn't.
The line
he didn't have a
definitely
chance
felt
to
out
be.
of place.
Yeah. So yeah, they get reunited and all the XBs are like, Locutus. What's good? What's good, Locutus? Welcome back to the ship.
Yeah.
And then Picard asks them to get the sensors working, and we see 218 birds of prey on the way.
Yeah, the party's coming. It does not look good. And that's an ass whooping that's coming in at high warp.
Alfred Hitchcock is rolling in his grave.
This is like that time you had that small birthday for some of your friends, but one of your friends called the guy who runs the fraternity down the street.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
and now
God.
the frat's coming.
Here comes the frat.
No, please. No. You can stay home, birds of prey. Really, we don't need you. You don't need that many. Christ.
Warbirds. Oh, those are warbirds.
Yeah.
Coming in. Yeah.
Oh, warbirds.
Warbirds.
Is bird of prey Klingon?
No, warbirds is Romulan. Yeah, the
technically they are both Romulan.
Like 150 years ago.
Right.
Okay, whatever.
Romulans and Klingons have designations of birds of prey and warbird.
Like birds.
Yeah.
Wow, original.
Birds.
Everything's a bird because you fly in space.
You're gonna get a Ferengi showing up think, I am a Ferengi from the USS Aviary.
We are flying the Sparrow.
The Sparrow.
Hey, Seven's parents flew the Raven.
Yeah, stop with the birds.
Lloyd's. Hitchcock again.
And Picard.
If it was a Ferengi ship, it should be named something for rain.
Right. Yeah, because how many words for rain do they have?
Too many.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Picard and Eleanor talk, and he tells Eleanor, you have more work to do here. And Eleanor's like, I don't want to leave you, or I don't want to lose you. And it's maybe the last time I see you. And Picard says, well, that's true of any two friends who are saying goodbye. And one of the things about this scene where Picard walks out is Seven adopts the precise Seven pose. Standing up, hands behind back. This is her at ease kind of position.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves.
Yeah, Go ahead.
And they get to the compound, which looks like a culty compound.
Looks like a resort.
I got a feeling some culty shit's going on.
It's a resort. It does look like a resort. I want a vacation there.
I got a rant on this one, but I'll let everybody go first.
Oh, let's hear it. Let's hear the rant.
All right. So this is an awfully nice, modern, large beach house somewhere in Malibu or something. But we show up in all of our synthetics are in a very specific utopian presentation. How they're dressed, what they're doing, their jewelry, their clothing, the yard stuff around them, the architecture, the tools they have in their hands. They're playing, what is it, 3D chess again? With fancy pieces we haven't seen before. The colors that are chosen for them are all very warm. We have yellow and orange and pink and some terracotta reds. No really cool or cold colors are around here, and they're very loose and they're very airy. And Rio said it was hot when they came out of the ship, so that makes sense. But they're not really clothes meant for working. You've got people who are topless, or people who are in crop tops, and people who are in long flowy things that are like only one shoulder and stuff like that.
Very like Justice TNG. What is it?
I thought the same thing.
Season 1, episode 8, right?
Don't drop your ball.
When Wesley gets a fucking death sentence from these people, there's always some weird shit going on when you have the flowy crop tops.
Well, exactly, and I thought that was such a big nod to this, that we've got this classic, we found the utopian community presentation from Star Trek that we've seen in the past, and of course the rest of us all know that, like, okay, so they're up to something. What is it? Come on, what is it? But it's the presentation is so classic. There's such a nice nod to, this is the utopia that's not really a utopia, or maybe it is because it's this. I don't know. And they're demonstrating, various symbols, but like jewelry that's popular right now and stuff, and I'm sorry, I get sucked into the costumes, but just aesthetic. That is where they went for this. Aesthetic.
Well, that's what you like. I'm glad you noticed that the costume stuff, and this is a great opportunity for twins in Hollywood to get work, because this is their calling right here. Look at this.
They got to be tan and hot, though.
Yes.
With varying degrees of gold and shiny.
Correct. Yeah. And that was really cool with this. So I wasn't expecting to see so many. It looked like Maddox they were just churning these androids out. And the other thing that was pretty cool is that you see different revisions of the twins. like the ones that were more of the Data, goldish looking kind of face and eyes, like that's, your standard, this is what a Soong type android looks like. And then they get to a point where then you have the next revision, which they look more human. I like that. I liked seeing kind of the old and new technology. Well, I don't think old and new is a good, but you know what I'm talking about. You see the two versions amongst each other, so you kind of see a progression that's been happening there, and that was the thing that really piqued my interest. Is so how were they churning these out so much? It looked like they actually were indeed able to duplicate using the positrons, and we're just making. I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm sure it's one of those things that we're not supposed to.
Fractal neuronic cloning.
Are they all derivatives of Data? Basically,
that's what I feel.
Yes.
I feel like they got
with the eyeballs,
neurons to do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get super surprised.
Oh my God, this surprise coming up.
Super duper surprised. Welcome back, Brent Spiner.
Yes.
As another Soong. He's played 3 of them now. Eric Soong in Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Noonien Soong in The Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I don't remember, Alton Soong? But
Soong.
his initials are AI. Alton Inigo. Is that a toss to Princess Bride?
Who knows?
My name is Alton Inigo.
Is it actually Data?
All I know is the traits for the Soong male line are all clearly dominant, because we're never going to know what Mom looks like ever.
Right. It doesn't matter who Mom is, what she looks like.
He could be Lore for all we know.
Right. They are all going to look.
Is he in a shed somewhere?
Lore ass, Steve Jobs looking ass, Grandpa looking ass.
All the males in the Soong line.
Just.
That's some strong genetics right there, right?
They're the same fucking person. You're
I know
not
that, Watney.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the just fucking talking.
The real secret is Soong figured out how to live forever. Joke's on y'all.
Hey,
it's very prominent genetics.
Yes.
So they're all narcissists, basically.
Maybe
I'm gonna make 2 androids that look just like me. I'm cute.
That's why they did the twin thing, because Data and Lore. Am I allowed to be here anymore?
Data Lore. B4.
Yes.
Well,
we need to accept these things.
The twin thing wasn't a thing then. It was just B4 was the first one, didn't really work out. Then Lore definitely didn't work out. Then Data, so it was just.
I feel like Lore could have been a good Q.
Possibly, yeah. But I'm really glad that we get Brent Spiner playing another Soong. I mean, Jesus, the Soong line has been causing trouble for at least 230 some years with the augments, and then
like
the cybernetics. Right,
they really be doing too much.
The Soongs are the Skywalkers of Star Trek.
Gross. How dare you?
Well, no one's.
I mean,
how dare you, Big J?
I'm not wrong. Am I wrong?
Don't you bring that in here onto us?
Don't you bring that evil on me, Ricky Bobby?
Don't you bring that evil on me? I don't want to hear it.
Hey, as long as nobody reaches behind their back and pulls out a lightsaber, I'll be okay.
Oh,
that's the next slide, please.
All right.
In the next slide, we have a lightsaber. No, I'm just kidding.
So
everyone's looking cute. Yeah, I mean,
we meet Sutra,
fucking bitch,
who is wearing the gold makeup that Brent Spiner tested.
All of the gold makeup.
Gold makeup, gold eyes,
black
hair.
You know who she reminds me of?
Pink.
Please say some kind of goddess from Greek mythology, because I was getting huge vibes, but I couldn't look it up.
You're gonna love me, but she comes on screen, and I don't know if you guys have seen this movie. If you haven't, you should, because it's great.
Pocahontas.
There's an animated movie, couple decade-ish ago called Sinbad.
Mm-hmm.
By DreamWorks, and she looks like Eris, and she talks like Eris, and she walks like Eris.
Are you talking about the lady with the flowy hair?
The sentient hair that moves, and she like can embody
the most beautiful hair to ever exist
any
in any
space
animated film.
in whatever she wants. The goddess of discord and chaos. Yes, here we go, Eris incarnate.
Yeah, she's definitely giving me the vibes. Maybe not quite as malevolent. I think she's definitely. Oh, just don't get me started on this lady. She's
got some lore in
evil.
her.
She's evil, sexy Suji, who apparently can fucking read and then obtain whatever ability is in the book. A la mind melding.
I got serious questions on the mind melding bit.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
the hell? I just don't get it. If someone wants to explain it, I just don't think that that's like fair to Vulcans.
I'm Dag, and I'm the trivia master.
Uh-oh, he's got something for us.
I mean, it's really dumbed down. She is probably, in my opinion, she's one of the prototypes for the fractal neuronic cloning. So she still has that golden dermoplastic shield layer, but she's organic. She has an organic brain. She has organic nerves. She can do, she can do the thing and read that and translate that.
I think
and she can handle it because she's a synth.
It's a stretch.
She's a synth that the people who built the admonition are looking for. That's why she can read it.
They're looking for Sutra. Is she the destroyer?
But Romulans apparently can mind meld. A half Vulcan, half Romulan can mind meld.
Well, yeah, half Vulcan.
If the trait of that didn't make Commodore O understand the admonition, like,
it was an interpretation. Everyone interprets something differently. Like you could see something.
If the reason why evil Soji can mind meld is the same reason that she was made for the admonition, then why didn't Commodore O get the full fucking message?
Theory.
Okay.
If you're an organic, the message you are getting is, once you get to a certain level of synthetic life, we wipe you out in favor of that life. As an organic, I would feel threatened. As a synthetic, what I hear is, they got to a certain point, they were scared of you, they tried to kill you, give us a call. Organic busters.
Okay, I have one problem with your two theories then.
Okay.
If Sutra has an organic brain because she's the fractal neuronic cloning, would it not have interpreted that properly? She would have to have a mostly positronic brain or something with a positronic base to it to have interpreted that way instead of organically, because an organic brain, the way it's coded, as later mentioned, that the whatever phone number, for lack of better terms, that they needed to make this call is coded so that it would only be interpreted properly by a synthetic brain. She can't have an organic brain because she wouldn't have been able to read it.
Also, the whole admonition is like a paradox, because if you would have created it for everyone to understand, you wouldn't have a need to have these guys come back and fuck shit up.
Okay, I can see that.
Like if the Romulans hadn't been misinterpreting this for millennia, and finally waiting for the day when the Soong family line was born, or what the fuck ever.
That's how we do it. In the future, we just kill everybody named Soong. Save ourselves the trouble.
Well, like, the admonition now to the synths is a big red button that they didn't know that they had. and that was being interpreted as a big blue button from the Romulans. Like, it's just like the sentient beings way the fuck out wherever they are actually creating the drama.
The best twist to this is that when they show up, nobody's holding the button.
Oh,
If they show up.
what do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna wipe out the planet. Goodbye.
You think
They're
so?
like, oh,
You're gonna wipe out the admonition?
But well, I don't know if they're gonna wipe out the admonition. That's light years away.
They're just gonna. If they make this call, they show up. They're gonna be like, oh, well, that's nice. You're all gone. Nobody had the button.
But to answer your question about the brain problem,
Oh,
I might be the only one here who's read the book The Last Best Hope by Uma McCormick.
Probably, because I never heard of it.
That's okay. It's the prequel novel that I listened to back in January before the premiere. And it is suggested that Maddox used bioneural tech in the synths on Mars. So you could have an organic bioneural layer over a positronic brain. And that would allow the admonition's memory to get interpreted correctly. Or at least the way
put the
Dark
squishy
Soji did.
over the blinky lights and metal.
Okay.
Can we call her Evil Soji now?
I kind of like
Her name?
her name's Sutra, and I kind
Sutra.
of like Sutra because it reminds me of Karma Sutra. So
Yeah,
how do
that's
you
why they did that.
how do you forget that? Yeah.
That's exactly why they did that.
Come on, throw me a bone.
I think she's stupid.
No,
and
I mean
OP.
that was the intent. You got the intent. They did their job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like it was
if
kind
she
of like,
can mind meld,
And she
any
can mind
synth
meld.
can mind meld.
yeah.
If they just read a fucking book. Right?
I mean, isn't that how you learn, by reading?
Not if you're anyone else in this franchise that ever existed before the last episode.
Yes. An android has learned how to mind meld. On the next Geraldo.
Stupid.
Well, but an android learned how to do the Vulcan neck pinch.
Okay, can I have her earrings though?
The Vulcan neck pinch is not due to the physiology of the Vulcan. The Vulcan neck pinch is just knowing where to pinch.
Oh. Well, okay. All right. You got me.
It was like Leonard Nimoy when he was creating the character. What implied that it would be cool if the pinch was like actually overloading the person that was being pinched, and that's why they fell.
Right.
But really, it ultimately was decided that it was just like fucking blocking a blood vessel or whatever.
Isn't there like a
Not
pressure
as
point there or
cool.
something?
Yes, I don't know. Something in some. It's not being a Vulcan. It's
Having a
just
pressure
knowing
point there.
what to do. It's Susmana or something shitty. I don't know. I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed by this android who can mind meld, and I don't think that's unreasonable. Like, you can explain anything if you wanted to.
No.
But
I
if the
can
audience is
definitely
like,
explain it.
what? Then
It's a smidge god-modded.
It
is.
is a
It's-
writing stretch.
the immersiveness gone. Just gone. I'm like, fuck, they're doing this shit again.
It's like that one OC where you're just like, okay, okay, tone it down a little bit. Just a
Yeah,
little.
it's like we
on,
get
ruin
it.
it.
You're hot. What else? Oh, you can fucking mind meld?
I know. It's like, do you have to be hot and have skills like that?
The almost kissing
She's
the rap
the
was weird. I was
triple
like,
threat.
really? We're doing this? We're doing it?
Oh
Really?
yeah, we gotta
I
get
think
to
she's
that.
You only come in
overcompensating
one
because she
flavor?
knows
Is
that
that it?
Soji. Yeah, she's overcompensating because she knows that Soji is the more advanced version of her. So she's like,
Yep.
let me get my sexy outfit on. I wear this all the time, by the way, and I wear pink makeup too. Her
Hey,
makeup
wait.
actually looked really cool.
That's a fantastic idea. If they created, they have feelings and whatnot. So you could be completely right.
That she's compensating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she could be angry that there was better versions made of her.
Oh, jealous.
Oh
Power
yeah,
trip.
she's definitely feeling self-conscious. about
Jealousy. All right.
it. Yeah.
Let's get on to that next slide.
So
Okay.
that mind
Yeah.
meld.
Let's keep going. God.
All right, so there's a series of mind meld slides. I'm going to go through and just narrate what Soji, or what Dark Soji took away from this mind meld. We'll just run through it.
All right.
Number one, life is created. Life creates synthetic life, and we get jealous. We're like, you guys can live longer than us. You don't know death. Wah. And we want to wipe out that synthetic life. So, hey, all you synthetic life that can check out our message, give us a phone call. We'll show up. We'll wipe out those organics, and you can come chill with us.
Slide into the DM.
And they say that they exist beyond time and space. It's like a synthetic federation across all the galaxies.
Can you go back 2 slides? Cross-eyed. He looks cross-eyed, doesn't he? We're both. We both.
Is that what you two were laughing about?
Yes.
Was that what you were laughing about?
The
He's a
android is like
prototype.
the android's like.
He's adorable.
Please use that as the cover for the video. Just,
Yes.
it's so
No,
Oh,
not the
that's what
cross-eyed
it's-
with the tongue out. I'm
That's
not on
it.
TikTok.
That's the one. Wait, let me get a time code here, and okay, about 50 minutes in.
No, please. Anyway,
all right, I
please go
won't.
ahead.
I won't.
Please go
The
the
ahead.
feature
I don't want your wrath.
of the Starfleet Delta in the eye and in the guy's chest there. Michael Chabon confirmed on his Instagram that these images are meant to be interpreted by the person experiencing the admonition. So, in a sense, the audience is getting that experience.
So they're tailored to the viewer.
Starfleet bad. Starfleet bad.
So the admonition is basically what you want to see.
It sort of like interacts with your brain to
Uh-huh.
take what you already know and interpret it in a way that sends the message across.
Okay, all right,
Starfleet bad.
gotcha.
It's like imagining something looks like a human because you can't imagine it looking like anything else. That's what's familiar.
When you hear hoof steps, you think horses, not
Yes.
zebras.
Yes.
All right, so we get that mind meld, and
Ew.
we end up in Dr. Soong's lab, where he has created a golem, which is basically a fleshy droid self. And he tells Girardi, you can avenge Bruce's death if you help download my brain into this thing. So when the Chthonic 6 show up, I don't die.
The what now?
Like Cthulhu, but a robot. The Cthulhu robots. Cthulhu
Chthonic
bots.
chicks?
It's a giant
Chthonic.
flower.
The Kathana synths.
Now, did you
Cthulhu
catch? Did you
I
catch
was like,
what?
he laid it on her real thick on her.
Wait a second. Synthulu.
Oh, Synthulu. I like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner.
So, did you get how Anton
Patent
said
it.
that
Copyright it.
there is a sense of urgency with him getting this thing working, so he can be transferred into this body. So apparently, it's either he's got some kind of illness, sickness, something. So he doesn't have much time, and this is what I'm thinking with that little line there is that he's going to get his consciousness transferred into this body, and what we're going to get is either a de-aged or CGI Brent Spiner, or a combination of both, of another Data. Or
Jay, are you saying you wouldn't want this face to walk around in the next season of Picard?
no, I'm sure that needs to be. Yeah,
It's Captain Baudet.
no, that
You
needs
can
to be
see his
fixed.
skull.
They need to put some skin on that, but no, I really think that's the setup of how we get Data is.
I think it's gonna go wrong.
I mean, of course, it's
Creepy.
going to go.
Six.
It
wrong and
I mean, it's
creepy.
gonna go wrong because he's basically mind transferring, which I don't think they said has ever been done.
It's been done.
Right.
On purpose.
On purpose. Oh, yes. Remember Ira Graves in season 2, TNG?
Oh,
Uh,
he did transfer his brain into Data.
Yes.
That was
Yes. So it's
Okay.
been it's been done. I mean, not en masse like they're trying to do now, but yeah.
I think the urgency he's feeling might be the 218 objects.
The impending ass whooping that's coming.
Flying towards.
I think it's
Heavily
the intention on doing this, contacting this other synth
Yes.
community. I think that's the bigger concern. The Romulans have no idea how just far in over their heads they are.
Oh God, yes.
I mean, well, they
Sure,
they
brought-
don't know, but the synths are not in any position now to like call these people. I
Well,
don't
the
think it's
Romulans-
that easy.
The Romulans interpret this as a warning. Hey, don't make sure synth life doesn't get out of hand, otherwise these bad guys come will kill you all. They never expected a synth to get the ammunition and be like, oh, organic exterminators, phone number.
Mhm.
Got it. So after this scene, we get Soji and Dark Soji and a plan. And first, I just want to point out how cool it is that like some of these things are floating off in the background. That's really cool.
Oh, nice.
Your kids are
Oh,
right
they're
there.
so
Oh
pretty.
my, you've got a red laser pointer. I like that.
And
Mhm.
Soji and Dark Soji are like, hey, let's call these guys. We need to save our people.
Hmm.
And Soji's like, isn't there a way to do this without killing so many people? And Dark Soji says no. And then
Picard
Narek
rubbing off
shows
on
up.
her. Yeah.
And I just want to say how hot these twins are that are escorting Narek.
I think Narek's looking pretty good. Not gonna lie.
What, bloody?
Yeah.
Watney likes her men
This is how
roughed
I
up,
like it.
Beat up.
roughed up and being carried away somewhere.
Mhm.
If
Yes.
Romulans come along, you must beat it.
This is horrible.
There's this
Talk
weird
about
scene.
this moment. Weird.
This is so
Is
weird.
that what you said? Oh my god, me too. Because the
I
whole
felt so
thing with them was
uncomfortable.
so awkward.
It is
Yeah.
awkward.
This
It's like
romance
they didn't
between
sleep together,
Girardi-
right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
think
They
they
slept
did.
together
They
on the
did,
They
ship.
totally did.
Oh.
I thought she was like, "This is a mistake," and I thought that's where it ended.
Oh, she
No.
already committed the mistake.
No, she sucks at that, at good decisions.
But
Mm.
this is another one of
Why she's here.
those Star Trek fails where the romance is like, hey, we're getting started. And Star Trek's like, nah, it doesn't work.
I'm definitely confused because I'm like, I can see you're clearly trying to push this, but Rios is not an idiot, and
Girardi is so naive.
Girardi's kind of naive, but Girardi also has her convictions to her passion, which is cybernetics, and in this case,
Okay.
whatever else we're gonna throw it on here. But like, it's like you're trying to go somewhere, but I'm like, they're not going to because both of them have their passions in life, which they will follow.
Well, never
If you're
mind that. A
listening
week
to this
ago, she
podcast-
killed her lover.
Dude, there's that too.
Maybe he's into that. I don't
If
know.
you're listening to this podcast and you heard a cat meow, you're not going crazy.
More incentive.
One of
to
our
come to
hosts
YouTube.
has an adorable cat. And if
That-
you're watching this on YouTube, I want to introduce Evie.
That is the most comfortable
Oh,
kitty
there's
I've ever
Evie.
seen.
Toby.
Cat's cross-eyed like that droid.
Oh my
Toby.
goodness. This is some prime
Look
content
at
here,
that
guys.
cat.
So
Tobeans.
I think the actors sold the scene.
Hmm.
They did a good job with what they were supposed to do. The problem is the audience is going, when the hell did this happen?
I don't think there's any chemistry, honestly.
I was here for
No.
the cat.
Spot 2.
Spot 2.
I just
genetically
let's
bred.
The most important person in this whole show.
Exactly.
right. Yeah, this whole
The
scene
cat.
gives me the heebie-jeebies. Can we move on to the? It just totally makes me uncomfortable.
Well, he just like touches her face, like, bro.
Watney, we're moving
That's
on.
not-
Nope, don't go back on the slide. Forward.
Can
No,
I need to talk
no.
about how awkward this made me feel?
Can I
No,
go
we
back
already
through it
did.
again? Go
No,
back through it again? No? Okay.
Fine, whatever.
we have
Alright,
more awkwardness
so-
to talk about, like this one.
Saga
You thought this
gives
was awkward? I thought it was
Raffi
cute.
the bong of destiny.
It's the
The
remote.
bong of destiny.
It looks like the Ocarina of Time.
It's the remote from Click.
Oh yes, a
It's
remote
all of
from
these
Click.
things.
That's You're not Ben.
It's all of these things, and it's
Adam
supposed to
Sandler's
fix
gonna
the
pop out of
ship.
nowhere.
You just have to use your imagination. Crazy tech. And Raffi thanks Picard, like we talked about earlier. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I love you. You don't have to say it yourself. I don't. No, unless you want to.
Then I won't.
And he does. And it's cute. It's a touching platonic scene. That's how I felt. This was not a romantic situation.
Yeah.
Right.
How
Love
accurately
you.
awkward was this, though? Like, in reality, if people tried to do this, it would probably come out this weird.
Whatever. I say hello
Jay?
to my friends all the time.
Yes, I know,
Yes,
but
Dag.
they're assuming it regular people don't.
Jay,
Yes, Dag.
I love you. You don't have to say it back.
I love you too, man.
And that's how it's done.
That's how it's done.
I really appreciate the display of emotion. Thank you.
It was good.
We're all over the place on this podcast.
There's a lot of
I love
emotions
it.
happening here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can we just stab Narek with a hummingbird instead?
That would have been a better ending.
So much faster.
Oh,
Narek's
he
in
would be so
prison.
embarrassed.
They
Saga's like, I could let you have some water. Soji's like, no. And I hate you, Narek. And then there's this focus on this hummingbird, which if this show has shown nothing, Chekhov's gun is a thing. We show you a thing, it gets used later.
Yes.
This hummingbird,
Kill someone later.
That's,
like a
that's
quest
basic,
item.
like, cinematography.
yeah.
If you focus on the thing or a person for just a half second too long, you're going to see it in the next 30 minutes.
I mean,
Yep.
unless it's a Borg queen, like 7, in which case nothing is going to happen. Nothing happened.
Well, I mean, right, yeah. Well, no, they still got a Borg cube they can do something with, and there's one more episode, so don't
They
give
crashed
up
it into
hope.
the ground.
Don't give up
Gonna
hope
blow
yet.
up.
It's still there. It can do something.
Can't show a Borg cube without crashing it into a planet.
The Borg,
Ghostbusters this.
the Borg are going to call their buddies that have been fighting the synth gods, the Synthulus,
Gods.
and we're going to have a whole bunch of portals opening up, and then it's going to be Avengers Endgame.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait, but where do the Borg fall in all of this? Because they're not technically organic and they're not technically synthetic.
Where do the Borg fall? From the atmosphere?
Are the,
ground.
are the synths that show up are going to look at them and go, wait, what?
Here's my thought on that. Now that we are at the point where we are in this season, I think that the Borg don't have anything to do with this entire thing besides being a plot stopping point. They assimilated the wrong ship with the wrong person on it. They got the blue screen of death, and that was it. I don't anymore think that the Borg has a huge part in this story. They are not the main people here in the end. This is about the synth and organics. The Borg we were in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's just what I think.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Because I always have ideas.
You do. You're
Because
the
I
idea
always try to reconcile the plot.
guy. Okay. Mm-hmm.
What if Synthulu shows up
Mm-hmm.
and it sees the organics and the synths and the Borg, and it looks at the Borg and it goes, wow, you guys are like a fusion of organic and synths. You're proof that not all organics destroy synthetic life. Hey, we're going to bail. You guys duke it out. Cheers.
So
They're there.
You think they're going to see the Borg as the
The
one
Borg
that's-
will be evidence that organics can tolerate and accept synthetic life without completely oppressing or trying to destroy it.
But that organic life had nothing to do with their assimilation. That was not by choice.
Well, we don't care what happens to organic life.
Oh, okay.
Synthetics oppress organics. Hey,
Fair.
I don't know. I'm reaching.
What's fair is fair.
Right. No, it's
Or
it's good. I hear what you're saying there, Dag.
That's not the right button.
There he
All right.
is.
He's trying to give Narek some weird redemption arc, and he's just a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You can't bring him back. You couldn't have brought him back from the first second we saw him.
We get this interesting scene between Picard and Soji,
Mm-hmm.
where she's trying to debate the logic of sacrifice, and maybe it's not logical. And Picard says the logic comes from whoever's holding the knife.
Okay.
Blurry.
That's a song by Puddle of Mud.
Yeah.
Who didn't sponsor the show.
Who's holding the knife?
Anyway, that's just the thing. He's trying to contact Starfleet. Starfleet's not showing up. Soji shows up, and she's like, I'm trying to figure out the logic behind sacrifice, because she's worried about Jurati killing Maddox. And Picard just says the logic of sacrifice comes from whoever is holding the knife.
I like
Needs
that.
of the many versus the needs of the few.
Yes,
Or the
and
one.
Starfleet better get their asses hauled in gear because.
Give me my Enterprise. Give me my
yes,
Enterprise. We
please,
deserve
please,
it.
please.
Who's going to be
Michael
piloting
Dorn.
it?
We're gonna
Michael
blow it up
Dorn.
again.
What?
Are they
Michael
gonna blow it
Dorn?
up again?
No. Worf
Are you
is
sure?
captain of
No.
the Enterprise. Geordi is his first officer. And then the Voyager's going to show up, and there's going to be Captain Chakotay with Tom Paris. And I'm going to get all of my wildest dreams into next episode. Michael Chabon, if you're listening, you need to refilm the last episode and give us what we want.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I want the Enterprise, either the E or the F. I don't care. I really
Yeah,
think
give me
that.
a sovereign.
You think the Enterprise E would still be in service at this point because
she's only 20.
she'd be like 20 some.
She's only 27.
Okay.
Enterprise was 40 years old when she died.
True.
When what?
Okay, the original Enterprise 1701
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
commissioned in 2240 something,
Yes.
and she
Okay.
was destroyed in 2286. And the Commodore in Star Trek 3 says, Jim, she's 40 years old. She's due for retirement. And then we get Star Trek 3, where Kirk steals that Enterprise and blows it up in the orbit of Genesis. Then we get the Enterprise A, and she runs from 2286 to 2293.
Mhm.
Then we get Generations. 2293, we launch the B. From 2293 to 2263, we get 70 years. And then we go from B to D, which is an average lifespan of about 35 years. Except we know the C was destroyed in the 2340s.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like 20 years without Enterprise.
Right.
And that was your history lesson, listeners. Thank you for watching.
Fascinating.
I live with this man.
Next slide.
Oh, that's lovely.
Dark Soji gives
Is she
Narek an
dead?
escape. And
She took a thing to the eye. She's dead.
I'm so
yes.
sure.
Big fucking deal.
I totally
Or she's a
think
synth.
She can't
Yeah.
bleed out,
she can't. Well, she's bleeding. She does have blood.
Black.
but like
Accent.
internally.
But I totally feel like I don't think Saga would have let Narek get that close to her. I think Dark Soji let Narek go, and then Saga was like, "Oh, hi! I thought we weren't letting him go." And Soji was like, "Hey, look at that!" And she grabbed the hummingbird and stabbed her in the eye, and she died and ran away. And here we have Mr. So cradling Saga with her perfect golden eye, which was really out of place. Like
Mm-hmm.
her golden eye.
Okay, this guy is full of weird lines.
They're all the songs are weird.
They're a little bit on the crazy side. I think I definitely agree with you, Dag, because I was thinking about this and I said, there is no damn way that any organic is going to get the drop on an android and be able to accomplish that. It's just not happening.
Touchdown.
They're too
Android
fast.
on Android crime.
Right. They're too fast, too quick. You can't do it. So yeah, this definitely had to be Sutra that did that. Narek, no way.
Totally.
Wow.
And Sutra uses this murder to galvanize the rest of the synths to say, screw all organic life. Let's call our buddies who've given us their phone number to save us, and they'll wipe out the organics for us. And Picard is like, I can fix it. And Soong is like, no, you can't. They didn't listen to you.
And then Sutra's like, I'm a cult leader.
Sutra is a cult
My
leader.
people that I murder.
And look at the devotion
Yeah.
in Soji's eye in the scene. Soji
Yes.
is totally committed to Sutra's plan.
Yeah, she's
Well, I
got the
mean, when she's
buy-in.
trying to-
I don't know. I think she's trying to fit in with the people that she's been looking forward to meeting.
That's
for
probably
a
true.
long time.
And maybe she remembers them.
Mhm.
But where in this scene, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. If you're on Anchor or any other podcast channel, I'll describe it. But during this sequence, Dark Soji, Sutra, has dead eyes. And Soji's eyes are totally focused and bright and expressive, and she is bought in. That's the expression I give when I was 9 years old, and my mom said, should we buy this flavor ice cream or this flavor ice cream or both? And I was like, both.
Both, yes.
I think she looks kind of like timidly afraid.
Yeah.
Like it's a wide-eyed look
That's
when
only-
you're trying to absorb all the information you can and make that decision.
Sure.
Like,
But I think Dag hit
Oh.
it on the head. Dark Soji, I mean, she's dead inside. Look at that. That is the look of a killer. I mean, just look at that.
yeah, she's looking fly.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, don't get me wrong. Just
It's
yeah.
like if my mom was the cult leader of ice cream.
Yep.
I love you, Mom. My mom, by the way, is one of our biggest fans. She watches all of the
Hi,
episodes.
Dag's mom.
Hi, Dag's mom. Thank you.
Thanks
We
for
love you.
watching and listening.
Yes.
Biggest fan.
She made a comment the other day about how we play off each other so well, which is great. I think it's good chemistry here. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I think
That's
we
so sweet. Thank
yep. We all go well together.
you. So Soji, looking like, yeah, okay, but I'm in. I guess I'm in.
Mhm.
But she's worried about Picard. I think Picard's rubbing off on her because she's like, can we do this without violence? Which is something she's ready to kill Narek. Just let him die. And Picard's like, no, we can't let people do that. And so now she's like, well, do we have to do violence? I think this is why she's the superior model.
Mm-hmm.
She has empathy. And I think she'll come out in the end and win.
I think you're right. And Jay, I don't know if you saw the teaser, but there's the last scene of the teaser.
You mean the teaser
validates what
for
Rodney says.
the teaser
Teaser for
for
next
episode
episode.
10? No, I did not. I didn't. I'm trying. I'm at the same time. I'm trying to talk myself into going ahead and treating myself and watching it, but then also not. I'm very conflicted because like I've been faithful for 2 seasons of Discovery and a season of Picard and not watching the preview for the next episode. So I don't know. I'm conflicted. Well, and I went back and watched the preview for this episode because I remember there was a comment you made as I was editing the whole thing. You said something about there were only a few slides you had for the teaser for the next episode because we saw a couple people we weren't supposed to see. And then I went back and watched the teaser, and I'm not sure what you were referring to because I don't think I saw anything that was like an earth-shattering spoiler.
I don't remember saying that we saw people we weren't supposed to see. I remember saying that I think the teaser for this episode that came out in the last episode showed like the first 5 minutes of
Mm-hmm.
this episode, which it did.
Okay.
We got the ship crashing, and that was it.
So
We didn't get a Borg cube coming out of a transwarp conduit because that's scary.
So what Watney said about, or what she just said, is given some credence in the next episode based on the teaser. You saw
Right. Well, Watney just
Okay.
said about Soji and empathy, the very last frame of the teaser for episode 10 validates that.
Okay. Ooh, tantalizing.
I forgot what
I
I
might
the
just watch
teaser was like.
That's okay. I have a slide.
Great.
He's got a
Great.
slide for everything. All right, let's go to the next one.
All right. So just in this scene here, I wanted to emphasize Picard is making this great plea. Hey, I'll speak for you. I'll be your voice. I'll defend you, and the Federation will accept you. And there's all these people who are listening to him. Like, they're listening. They look interested in what he's saying.
Right.
They're not really emoting. And then Sung is like, right. They didn't listen to you about Mars. They're not going to listen to you about these guys.
I'd also like to point out that he won't get very far because he could start speaking and then he could kick the bucket.
Well, yeah.
Hello, my name is Jean-Luc Picard.
Oh, man. Come on, man.
No.
That's horrible. That's evil.
Knock it off. No.
All right, Lonnie's Q. I live.
Sung is right, though. Was he wrong?
Sung isn't wrong. I definitely felt when Jean-Luc said, and the Federation will listen to me. I was like, yeah, right.
They're setting him up to be denied.
Sung helped me.
It's not going to work.
But the look of abject, how dare you, on Picard's face here.
He still has all of his pride, but none of his,
influence.
You mean that?
Yes.
Sheer.
There's an article I read today about that very thing, is how this series is trying to tear down those things about TNG, where back in those days Picard could have thrown out a couple more speeches and everyone listened to them and all that, and it's different now. Now he's having to have some acceptance of the fact that you're not going to be able to give a rousing speech that's going to solve everything, and that is sacrilege. What are you're drawing a mustache and a dag? How dare you? Yeah, that, and I think that's a good point. Everyone gets to that phase in life, I think, where you can't talk your way through everything. You can't always give that convincing speech, and he's seeing that now, which is, I believe, still kind of new for him. He wasn't used to getting turned down or rejected, and Sung is right. It happened with the whole Mars thing. It happened with the Romulans. Their pending doom. So yes, he's. I don't know what to say. So, more evil Soji.
So in this scene here, Sutra is like, lock him up, and she goes over to Jurati and is like, let's lock her up too. And Jurati's like, no, don't lock me up. I need to finish Bruce's work and give Sung a synth body. And Sung advocates for her, and Sutra goes up to her and is like, will you do this? Because if you lie, I can tell you. And she's like, yes. And so Jurati gets to remain free. And I feel like Jurati just pulled the wool over Sutra's eyes there.
Exactly.
Like, she's going to redeem herself and help Picard get back to La Serena.
I think that, yeah, but I think, then that, if she was lying, then that just means that Sutra can't actually do that.
That means
so you remove her ability to do that in the future.
Or Sutra asked her, would you die for this? And she answered truthfully to a different question. Like, I would die for this. It's not what you're asking me, but yeah, I'll die for it.
That's a lie of omission.
Yeah. Vulcans are great at that, by the way.
Still a lie.
Yep.
I think, if she doesn't do what she set out on doing, then she ends up freeing them, then Sutra's gonna be confused. I thought I could tell that you were lying. I can't, apparently.
Well, Sutra can also bluff.
I'm telling
She's
you,
also
guys.
capable of murdering her own kind.
Yes, I'm telling you, she's picked up that lore gene. It's in
And you know
there.
what I think? Sutra's pissed off because Jana got killed. We
Yes.
trusted them, and they killed us.
And Dodge.
And screw them.
Mm-hmm.
And Dodge.
Yeah.
And then Maddox under Girardi's hand.
Yes.
Right after the scene, we get Commodore Vulcan.
Badass.
The most
Commodore
epic
sunglasses?
Commodore sunglasses.
Commodore sunglasses.
Yes.
Commodore sheets.
Yeah.
Commodore sunglasses.
With
Now
the
in
proper
Romulan.
way to do Romulan shoulders.
Yes. The Romulan shoulder pads have not gone out of fashion.
Oh, no.
I'm glad to see that.
She's just not wearing a box pillow anymore.
This looks far more intimidating.
Looking at you, Tomahawk.
Quilted. Yeah.
And her and 217 of her friends are 24 hours away from making landfall.
Are there that many Zhat Vash?
There are that
No.
many.
Warbirds. That many
Warbirds.
warbirds. Ships.
There are that many warbirds.
Are we to assume that they're all Zhat Vash?
No.
I don't think
Why
so.
not? Why would regular Romulans get involved?
I mean,
Who
If
knows what
you-
she told them?
you bring up a good point. And the last, maybe, in the last episode, we saw one class of Zhat Vash take the admonition, and 2 of them survived. One of them got assimilated. The other one is Narissa.
Mm-hmm.
What if there's a class, like every so often, of Zhat Vash, and Romulans are as long-lived as Vulcans? So you have all of these really long-lived people. Who's to say there's not 217 of them waiting?
Okay.
They could all be
Yeah.
Zhat Vash ships. They could all be
Okay.
Tashar.
Tal Shiar, sure. Yeah, I'll buy. I don't think we're dealing with the Romulan Free State. I believe these ships, if anything, are ships under Tal Shiar control, being overseen by Zhat Vash. Because if you've got any ships, what's left of the Romulan Star Empire, I would have to think that allocating this number of ships for anything is they don't have the strength of the force to just be throwing a fleet of 200 some ships together for a mission. That's like probably their entire fleet. So I cannot see any reason that you could tell the Romulans, if these were controlled or not under the control of the Zhat Vash or Tal Shiar, that of anything really, they're excuse me, the Romulans are in no position to do any fighting, do any battle. You could come to them and say, give me the 100 ships you have left in your fleet. We have to go to this planet because these synthetics want to destroy our way of life. And they're just going to be like,
yeah.
what the fuck do you expect us to do? We got nothing here. So okay, if they are, let's just say they are, what do you want us to do? These have to be Tal Shiar or Zhat Vash. I don't see the regular Romulan military wanting to risk getting involved in anything.
Alternatively,
Mm-hmm.
they could be like Genghis Khan's army, who just put dummies on horses to make themselves look like a bigger force than they were.
Drone Romulan ships.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Mongols did that.
You heard it here
Just fucking
first.
trolled everybody.
You heard it here first on Beyond Trek Podcast.
Mhm.
I do like the belt buckle here. She's got the Romulan
Everything's black now.
bird of prey
Aesthetic.
belt buckle.
First
Mhm.
Order goes white, Star Trek goes black.
Yep. She's
I
wearing
mean,
it's a utility belt.
they used to wear like
Pillows?
if you
Barbecue
looked at
covers.
this and you were not, yes, they used to have like a distinctive aesthetic. Sure, the shoulder pads are there. But if you did not watch Star Wars or Star Trek and you looked at this, you would not be able to tell what this was.
Well, no
Well,
shit.
it's obviously Babylon 5.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sure. Okay.
She's got the side cape that reminds me of Director Krennic from Rogue One.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This kind of like sleek aesthetic. Yeah, whatever. It's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
So this episode ends. The impending doom. 218 Romulan warbirds beelining it for this ship, where all we have, La Serena, 25 orchids, an old man.
15.
15.
Well, they built some.
And a day?
She says something about that.
She said they had 15, now they have 10.
Right.
We
but
have
then
15,
later,
but we can always build more. Well,
Dark
how
Soji.
about 2 days?
Right.
Dark Soji says something on the lines of, we've got 25 orchids, an old man, and what? And
A crash
that's where
board cube.
Soji
The can-do
and Dark
attitude.
Soji.
And a can-do
my
attitude.
Right. So anyway, 218 Romulan warbirds.
Mhm.
And I don't really care about the orchids or La Serena. It's 218 warbirds versus 7 of 9 in a board cube. That's how I feel about this. We're going to the board cube operational.
The board cube is not even flying.
They can't.
It don't have to fly.
Honey, there's a scene in the teaser.
Oh.
But Jay's going to go into his muted shenanigans. Who's ready for some trivia?
I might just go ahead and listen in on this one. I think, yeah, I think I've earned it. I have.
You have.
I'm just gonna treat myself. It's been a long road. All right, start.
Yes, maybe.
Oh no, trivia. Yeah, trivia.
So there's some trivia. And by some, not a whole lot.
Okay.
The first piece, seatbelts. We saw
Oh.
seatbelts in Star Trek Nemesis. And Picard said, it's about time. And then
Tired of jumping out of your chair?
we get this scene. We get a human hen reaching for a robot hand and touching its very creation of Adam. Creation of life.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah.
Freaking Vulcans.
Fascinating.
Soji, or Dark Soji, Sutra, walks away from that mind meld and she says, fascinating.
How many ways can we make the Vulcans look so much? I don't know. They seem so. Every time we get more, in depth into Vulcan stuff, it's so not logical and so very shallow and aesthetic, and everything must be this way because that's the way I like it, but not because that's actually what I'm going to do about it.
That is the topic of the very big podcast.
I'm just salty.
Just because you read some fucking Vonnegut doesn't mean you're a genius. Okay? I'm so fucking done with Sutra. I've only seen her one episode.
Hey, I was done with Narek the minute he showed up on screen.
My brother died.
Narek is at least like, I love you, but I don't know why, because you're disgusting to me, but I love you. Like, at least he has like some conflict going on. Sutra's just like so far.
Does he?
Yeah, he's definitely like almost couldn't kill her. Like for
Does
sure.
he? Oh,
Mhm.
I don't know. I
That doesn't make him
I
not
don't believe
abusive.
him a single bit. We'll see.
I know, but like you have to look at everything. You can't just, sure someone is bad.
I mean, I'm being petty, of course. I'm sure you're right, but
I mean, I like to think people can be redeemed or at least like rehabilitated, but doesn't mean he didn't do some bad stuff. But it's like
Right.
if he's
Well-
he may not redeem himself until the end of the series.
Which there's a slide for.
Let's go. Yeah, let's keep the trivia going.
The series.
Trivia is over.
Oh.
Not a whole lot of trivia.
Okay, all right. That's fine. It was good stuff. Thank you, Dag, for the trivia, as
We're
always.
on to the teaser now.
Oh,
You
boy.
sticking around, Jay?
Yes. All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Break
stick
the
around.
seal.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Let's
Star
do it.
Trek Picard, Episode 10, teaser review.
You guys talk me into
We
it.
see the creation of the beacon that's going to signal Synthulu.
Mm-hmm.
We see La Serena, and who do you guess shows up and says, I want to help, I'm trying to save the universe.
Is this the Mad Max set?
Yes.
No.
Mad Max Synth Road.
You look really dirty, Narek.
Yes.
Jesus.
Maybe I got this from a different screenshot. Hey, Romulans.
Mm-hmm.
Romulans finally show up. They wreak havoc. We get Commodore O. Commodore, oh my god. Or oh no.
She's looking good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I may not like why they just basically erased the cultural style of the Romulans, but she looks damn good.
There was an interesting theory that Commodore O, being half Vulcan, half Romulan, was actually Spock's daughter with Saavik. And Saavik was a Romulan the whole time.
Like full-blooded Romulan instead of the half Romulan that...
Yeah. Because in Star Trek 6, they wanted Robin Curtis to come back and play Saavik again.
They wanted Kirstie Alley. I mean, they wanted Kirstie Alley, couldn't get her, but yeah, they wanted Robin Curtis.
Yeah. But in Star Trek 6, they wanted Saavik back, and Saavik was going to be the traitor.
Yes.
Instead, they got Valeris. But Saavik was supposed to be revealed as a Romulan in Star Trek 6. Didn't happen. Not canon.
Fake news. Right. Yeah, that would have been a good twist.
We get a blurry sequence here of La Serena dodging Romulan disruptor fire while flying through more of these orchids. We get the beacon signaling in space. This is the firing of the beacon that is supposed to bring Synthulu.
Oh boy.
We get Picard begging Soji to make a different choice. Don't be the destroyer. We get our first glimpse of Synthulu. Tentacles. How fitting.
Jesus.
It's easy to forget about when it's a 1/10 of a second clip that took me 30 seconds to try and get a nice snip of.
Yeah.
What is it with space?
They're synthetics, but they're not humanoid synthetics.
Right. Those are... That's like Dr. Octopus from the Raimi version of Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Reapers are basically like cuttlefish. By the way, I want to talk about Mass Effect when this teaser is done.
Again?
Yeah, I just want to...
Okay, all right.
Continue.
All right, and the last sequence that we get is not yet. We get more... Okay, so this image is important because there's more orchids in this scene.
Yeah.
But what you see is 2 Romulan snakeheads chasing each other. This is Narek and Narissa.
Oh, my.
They're fighting it out, duking it out. May the best person win.
Oh,
Okay.
Please give me more Narissa on screen.
Yes.
And just like Game of Thrones, they're both going to die.
Probably.
No.
Because that's how Jaime and Cersei ended up.
Okay, Game of Thrones spoilers. In the last episode of the series, they died.
Yeah.
Not the first season.
Maybe it would have been better that way.
I
don't
understood
think
the
so.
reference.
Jaime Lannister had an extremely good arc, even if it all got washed away at the end.
All right.
Doing
This is the last scene in the trailer. It's Soji yelling no. And on the sequence in front of her is a hollow sequence of, we can clearly see the Romulan warbirds. And then there's this yellow pillar that's falling down, which I'm going to say is another Romulan warbird because they're all here in yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And over here on this side of the screen, bunch of slotted squares in green. This is the Borg cube.
You think
and
so?
It's on one of Soji's sensors for some reason. I feel like this guy here is making a kamikaze run at the cube.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what happens.
Okay. Yeah.
But the fact that Soji is yelling no when this happens is important, and I think it demonstrates what Watney was talking about, the empathy.
Yeah, okay. That's I think you're right. I think Watney is going to end up being correct. So wow, yeah, good slides. Good slides, Dag. I like it. I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah. Thank you for the analysis. That added more to my excitement.
Yeah. So what's the Mass Effect?
Welcome to our Mass Effect podcast.
The Mass Effect appendix. So last episode of Beyond Trek, I expressed a lot of disappointment and maybe, dare I say, anger over the direction of the plot. Even though I thought the episode was very good, I was upset because it was basically, at the time, it looked like a ripoff of Mass Effect. And it's clear now that I have an organic brain and that I could not understand the signal properly. Because now it's less Mass Effect.
Okay.
It's more... Mass Effect is about, like, the purge is coming when you reach a certain point of technology. Then we'll wipe you out. But this is more like the purge is coming to wipe out the threat to the technology. It's different.
Right.
So
okay.
We'll see how it goes. But it is different from what I thought.
Speculation.
Okay. Who wants to lead
Jay,
off?
what's going to happen in the next episode?
What did you say, Dad?
He's asked me what I think's going to happen in the next episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, speculation for the next episode. Okay. I am going to say that, and I hope I'm not disappointed with this, but I need to see some Starfleet ships. Please do not end this last episode with them showing up at the end after it's all said and done, late to the party kind of thing. I think that Soji is going to get the better, or the high ground on the morality, and is going to try to stop this whole thing. And don't forget that there were 5 Queen of Hearts first episode in the dream poker game that Picard was having with Data. I still think, I used to have that toy when I was a kid. That's awesome. Enterprise D. I still think that there is something about that. We've seen Soji, Daj, Sutra, and I'm sorry again, what was her sister's? Jana. That's 4. And I don't know. I could be way off, but I think that there's significance to the 5 Queen of Hearts, and we've seen 4. I think there's something that we're missing that we maybe forgot about that's going to be brought back. So I think that's all I've got for what I think about the next episode.
I know who the 5th one is.
Is it someone we've seen already?
7 of 9 is the Queen of my heart.
Oh, that was sweet. Watney, how about you?
The Queen of my heart is Narissa. So as long as I get to see her next episode, I don't give a fuck what happens now. I think someone's gonna die.
I thought that
Girardi.
too.
I think Girardi's gonna die.
Yeah, Girardi's gotta go.
It was heavily foreshadowed that she would be trading a life, making a sacrifice, or something like that. So I think she would probably be the first one on my list that might die.
I think Rios is gonna die too.
Say who?
Rios.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Why?
I don't have anything to back up its gut feeling.
I think he's going to be upset that Jurati dies. That's why they have been building this up, and it's going to embolden him to keep pursuing the mission.
Okay.
Agreed.
I think that, you know, we're going to get space battle, so I'm ready for that. Can't wait to see that. Hopefully we see some cool ship fights. You know, I think one of my favorite ones in the franchise that I've ever seen was the scimitar battle in Nemesis.
That was a good one.
They crash into each other. Badass. So yeah, I'm excited for to see some space battle happening. And honestly, I want to see more of Narek. I know that he's not a good guy, but I think that he's a compelling character. He's an interesting character, and so is his sister and their motivations. And what are they going to do when they learn that they've been wrong? Are they going to stick to their Romulan, xenophobic, aggressive, murdery ways, or are they going to evolve the Romulan race? Questions. That's all I got.
Lade, what's your speculation?
I almost don't know at this point. I think Watney's got a lot of stuff right. I think there's a lot of split-second decisions, and rethinking everything we knew until this point is going to go down for a lot of people. I like Jay's the fifth Queen of Hearts thing. I like that, and I know no one's really brought it up, but the fifth one, the only other fifth one who I could think of who would deserve that role would be Lal. Did we go get her out of storage? Look, we made all of these other ones. We can fix Lal. Because Lal would be the ultimate ace of hearts in this.
I mean, yeah, there's a big part of me that is, excuse me, that's hoping that happens.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lal looks like them. Sort of.
Let's get Haley Todd.
Yeah, kind of, for sure.
What do you got, Dag?
Paging Haley Todd. If you don't know, Haley Todd's the actress who played Lal.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't think Riker and Troy would have just let Picard go without immediately after that scene in Nepenthe getting on a phone and being like, "Hey, Worf, Jean-Luc's in trouble. Go check it out." And then Worf's going to show up with an Enterprise and a bunch of Klingon ships because Picard's the arbiter of succession.
Yeah.
And basically just rip those Romulans a new one.
Yeah, you might be right, because they are surprising us. They surprise us with Brent.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
And there is a picture out there that shows Michael Dorn and LeVar Burton behind the scenes on the set of Nepenthe.
Yeah. Just hanging out. Yeah.
And I
think they were
really
hanging out.
want to believe that they didn't just show up to hang out on the set that day, both of them. That they, before or after, got into makeup and did some phone call sequences. That's what I want to believe. Because that episode was filmed in Vancouver or something. That's a flight just to hang out with your buddies.
Oh, yeah, it's Vancouver, the land of regenerative soil.
And Star Trek.
And perfect tomatoes.
I'm with you, Dag. I want to believe that they didn't just fly out there to hang out, but I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. I'm hoping, just like you are, but in either way, it's been a spectacular season. I've really enjoyed the season. It feels like it's gone fast, and we're already going to be coming up on the close of the season in the last episode, and it's, I'll be sad to see it go. I'm really looking forward to next week. I think it's going to be a real banger. So, yeah, I hope everyone sticks it out with us for our review of the next episode. Watney, why don't you tell everyone how they can find us?
Oh, I'd love to, Big J. So, we have a Patreon. We would love if you could support us there. Patreon.com/BeyondTrek. We also have our Twitter. We're super active there. You can find us there at BeyondTrekPod. And you can always find us on Facebook. You can like us there at Beyond Trek Productions.
Yes. Oh, look at that phaser. You've got all the neat toys, Dag. And if you stuck with us this long and you have words to say, please, you're welcome to submit your thoughts and takes on the episodes or the season. You can do an audio recording or a video. Send it to us at beyondtrekpodcast@gmail.com. We'll put you on the show. Nacho did a little thing for us. My son Nacho, for the last week's episode. So get your cameras, your phones, do a little thing, send it to us. Dag, that trouble eat your eye.
No more triples for me. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And catch us next week when we review
the finale.
Episode 10, Star Trek Picard. Go Beyond with us. Beyond Trek Podcast.
Live long and prosper.
Hey everyone, Big J here with Beyond Trek Podcast. Hope you enjoyed that review we had of the first of a two-part Season 1 finale for Star Trek Picard. In the time that we did that review, we had a very interesting theory come up on social media sites, especially from r/Picard, that's on Reddit. This theory came from a person called Verboten Publish, and I have to tell you, I've been having the same kind of feeling about Star Trek Picard in this first season that this person had, and it involves a character from prior, The Next Generation, a very well-known character. There's some things that I saw and that we all saw in this most recent episode coming from the Sutra, who we call Dark Soji or Evil Soji, and the way that Brent Spiner was portraying this new Dr. Soong, this Alton Inigo Soong. Something about it just seemed a little bit off to me. I couldn't quite place it, and there was some talk about the attitude and behavior of him and of some of the other synthetics on the planet, especially Sutra. If you listen to this is a very bold theory, a very good one, and we're going to have this person who's been talking about this all season, has been pushing this theory, this prediction. It's a bold one. I think if he's right, then it's going to be quite the twist on this first season, and is something that I honestly did not see happening, didn't see coming. So if you would like to hear more on this this amazing theory and prediction, which he's hoping is right, and when you listen to it, when you hear it, I think I might make a believer out of you. Now we're going to have this published in a couple days here with Beyond Trek Podcast. We're going to have like a kind of a special mini episode, mini recording. So follow us on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll find us with Beyond Trek Podcast. We're going to have this hot take. As soon as we get that video from him, he's putting it together. He's going to lay out the entire theory, the entire prediction, why he thinks that this is the route that we're going. So I hope you all are there to listen to it. I've read it, I've heard some about it, and I think it's big. I think it's pretty bold as well. And again, it involves a character from the Next Generation's past, and hope to see you there. Okay? It's Big J signing off. Live long and prosper.
We are Beyond Trek Podcast. Lower your inhibitions and surrender your years.
We will add inspirational and hilarious Trek content to your day. Your attention will adapt to subscribe to us. Resistance is futile.